Alright class, fine girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, a very special good evening to one and all. Alright, fine. Myself Shabnam as usual from the code Ark, aiming to deliver technologies to the people out there. Audibility, visibility, all clear and set to go ahead. Please put us in the chat section. Okay, if you could give us a go ahead, we'll go. Good evening, please, good evening. Alright class, fine. A very quick recap of what we have learned yesterday. As usual, the way we start. We were talking about the bootstrap, a major portion for the final time. Correct? We were talking about few classes of bootstrap like spinner and the progress bar, pagination, and another alternative of pagination, that was breadcrumbs. Correct? Breadcrumbs, people, that was another alternative. This is what we were discussing yesterday, that is spinners. Correct? Talking about progress bar. Alright, fine. Then we were also talking about breadcrumbs. Am I right? Crumbs it is. And as well as or pagination. That means if a website is made up of multiple pages, it will show you in different section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is a feature that very commonly nowadays websites implement. Correct? Alright. What next we were talking about yesterday? I think toast. Am I right? And with some jQuery we have seen how to enable the effect of toast. Of course, the most important which we learned yesterday was how to build a carousel. Am I right? Then how to add slides to the carousel, how to add those next and previous buttons to the carousel, and how to add the indicators to the carousel. So these were the topics of bootstrap that we talked about yesterday. I hope you got my point. All of us here, fine? Okay, students, a small announcement to you here. There is a small medical emergency at my home today, so I need to wind off the class early. Now, instead of not taking the session, I will start. Okay, I want to give you something as an assignment so that you keep it done by tomorrow, and then we will continue. All of us here? Fine? Okay, number 1. Number 2, now look up. One program which is called as calculator, I've kept coded using JavaScript as well as CSS. Fine. This is my calculator program. You see here. A lot of CSS I've used, but I don't want you people to use CSS. I want you people to code this program using bootstrap effects. You see my output, how does it look? Okay, this is how my calculator is looking, but I have used everywhere, this is a CSS. Good evening everyone. Okay, this is CSS. So I want you people up until now, please keep some 1 to 2 hour time aside and code for this kind of calculator. These all are going to be the buttons. Okay, button. You don't want button, try to use some other class then. Is that okay? But button would be more suitable here. Okay, for example, if I say 5 plus 6 equal to 11, clear all. Okay, 5 divided by, let me say 8, equal to plus 4 equal to into 9 equal to something like that. Is that okay? So this is a calculator program using JavaScript and CSS both. Alright, the only thing you will introduce in this program would be a good sort of CSS effects. I'm sorry, bootstrap effect. Is that okay? Make this button a kind of a bootstrap button. Take this input box a kind of a bootstrap box. Okay, try to make it more appealing from your end. All that you have learned in bootstrap, try to put it here. हमने जितना भी bootstrap में सीखा है, किसी न किसी तरीके से try to implement it here. Alright, so this is one thing. I hope you got my point. Keep it done. Keep it done. We will take this assignment as one part of our certification. Is that okay? We aren't going to ask you all for all of the assignments that we have given up until now. But few assignments we will ask you definitely in the end. This question is one of them, that you have to code for this calculator with maximum bootstrap classes. Of course with JavaScript working behind because it is JavaScript here. Say when I click to this button clear all and it is responding. Am I right? So when I click on this button 6, you look properly, it is writing 6 in this box. It's a sort of input box, people. Or you want to set it as a label also. Okay, so when I say plus, so it is JavaScript which is making appear plus on this label. 5 equal to, so all these buttons are responding with the help of JavaScript code behind. Is that okay? Fine. So this was the first thing that I wanted to talk to you today, that please make this kind of calculator project. I can't say project, it's a very small one, but make sure that you have introduced maximum of the bootstrap classes. Fine. If any question, please put it up to me in the chat section. I'll answer you. All of us, fine. Acha, today what we are going to do is validation. ध्यान से बात सुनिए अभी, बहुत ध्यान से. First of all, many projects implement JavaScript just for validation. You understood? Because other tasks they achieve through many other frameworks and languages. JavaScript is, in fact, I could say one of the language known for form validation. Right? So validation of the form and validation of the input control in JavaScript or using JavaScript is a very popular idea outside. Right? So this concept you have to be always clear from interview point of view. Alright, fine. I'm going to teach you how to validate age, how to validate name, how to validate and check the passwords are same, enter password and the retype password, how to validate the length of the password, how to validate an email address. Is that okay? Fine. So you have to understand the concept of validation very thoroughly in JavaScript. Whereas in the final project that I will ask you to submit somewhere in the month of February and March, because it will take time to complete. The final project mein validation we aren't going to do using JavaScript. We will be using Django features that time. Alright, so since we have not learned and come to Django yet, I don't want to talk anything about it now. But still, the functionality of JavaScript to achieve validation must be clear. Alright, people are understanding all that I'm talking, right? You are understanding what I'm talking. Okay, fine. So I start small part of validation from today. This complete validation we will be completing tomorrow. I give you one rough idea how we are going ahead now. Hello my friends, आपको एक rough idea दे देते हैं हम अभी आगे कैसे चलने वाले हैं. ठीक है, सुनते रहिए बात ध्यान से, so that you also are planned and organized. Back home, you are also planned and organized how the series is going to continue ahead. Yes, Navin, calculator program is an assignment, and this assignment we will ask you for submission when the course complete. Right? All the other assignments that I have given you, we won't ask you for submission. That was only for self-practice. This assignment we will be asking you for submission. Where to submit, how to submit, all those things we will guide you. This is not the right time to talk about. Is that clear, everyone? Navin, Rakesh and my other friends who are here also. ठीक है? Okay, fine. Any doubt, please put it up in the chat section. I'll see how to deal with it. Okay, fine. First of all, let me give you a clear picture. What are we doing? Where are we? And how are we proceeding? Okay, so here I'm talking about it. Alright, fine. Now the day today, tomorrow, and at least 2 more days coming up. 2 दिन और we are going to talk exclusively about JavaScript. 2 to 3 days. Alright, that means around. Okay, that is till 8th of November. Good. 8th of November tak. Good. Thank you, everyone. Till 8th of November, we are learning JavaScript only. Let me tell you what is left in JavaScript. First of all, some functions like an anonymous functions, an arrow functions. Okay, anonymous functions. Right? And some different types of functions, arrow functions. And please do it. Yes. Okay. Number 1, something which is still remaining. Okay, a small introduction to you about BOM and DOM. Okay, that would be a sort of an easy topic. Okay, we are going to talk about validation, which I'm starting from today. Okay, today we are going to talk about validation a little less. Tomorrow we will be completing it 100% validation. Yes, there is one big topic from JavaScript coming up, that is jQuery. Alright, in front of some modern days technologies and tools, we consider jQuery to be a bit or a sort of outdated, but it is still important to have an idea of jQuery when someone learns JavaScript. Okay, alright, fine. So these are some topics to be done from JavaScript. We are still pending of it. Okay, now once we complete this, target is to achieve it till 9th November. 9th or 10th, I can consider whatever it is. We'll take it as a real time call and a decision. 9 या 10 December तक ये सब चलेगा. Alright, fine. After 9th of November, After 9th of November, then we will start with SQL. That will take another 10 days. That will take another 10 days. Fine. The SQL, why? Because that is one backend tool. Okay, we already have one SQL series on our YouTube channel, but that's not a complete one. For some reason, that was been left incomplete. Alright, so fine. So that will be SQL going ahead for 10 days. So once we complete SQL, that means these all things from the full stack we would have done. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, followed by SQL. I hope you got my point. Now once SQL completes, we will be starting with now company using what technology. There are many of them now. We'll be talking about them. A lot of things, in fact. Okay, jQuery is not a technology. It's a framework, I can say. It's a library. Okay, it's a library. So if you ask me like which all companies are using what, that depends upon SAP to SAP. What companies works with what. Somebody prefer to work with React. Somebody prefer to work with Angular. Somebody still prefers to work with, let me say, just JavaScript. Okay. Alright, mostly used in real time, man. Yes, correct. Fine. So by this is, let me say, by 20th of November, this will be our status. 20-25 नवंबर तक का ये हमारा स्टेटस रहेगा. Between 20 to 25th of November. Okay, this will be our status between 20 to 25th of November. Is it okay? Fine. Acha. After we complete SQL, we will be starting with Python. Alright, Python will take another 10 to 15 days of time. I'll roughly count it to be 15 days here. 15 days. Alright, fine, 15 days. So we are completing Python up to too much of depth, so 15 days. Alright, fine. So that will be taking us to around 25th if I take 5th and 10th. So that is around 10th of December. Alright, now after 10th of December, we will be starting with Django people. Django will be from 10th to again 25th of December. Alright, 25th of December. Fine. Now 25th to 31st, we are on leave. Okay, we aren't having any classes here. 25th to 31st of December. Alright, fine. Starting here from 1st of January. We are moving ahead to React, Angular, and GitHub. Okay, GitHub. Alright, and others, plus others, that is whatever we are yet left to in case to bring about the changes. Yes, Navin, you can say it's easy to learn for the beginners, in fact. Okay, I don't know if some of you are already here with the knowledge of Python or not, but the way we train is definitely different and will give you expertise more. Alright, इतना तो शायद अभी तक आपको confidence आ ही गया होगा from the code arc. Even if you are aware, make sure that you are still ensuring you learn from us. Alright, the degree and the level of programs and all that will make a big difference. That will at least ensure you won't forget the stuffs easily. Fine. So this will be from 1st of January. Okay, 1st of January. Alright, React people, React. Okay, we'll be trying to cover up here. Okay, trying to include Node.js and MongoDB in the syllabus. Considering them to be let me say the demanding technologies, people considering them, but that is not yet sure whether we would be able to take in Node and Mongo or not. React Angular will take time. React and Angular, that we have given up an entire month, pura month of January only for React and Angular. Okay, maybe it will take January and the first 10 days February also. I hope you're understanding my point, all of us. So we are targeting to complete the course by the end of February. Alright, because the month of March, people, the month of March or the mid of February, that will be full of project. Okay, we'll be trying to work a full-fledged project that will be a full-fledged e-commerce website, and this website is going to include almost everything, right, starting from HTML, CSS, JavaScript or React and till C had requested us to include DSA, that is data structures and algorithm. Our team is trying to it, but if we are able to complete by the month of February, well, if we are not, then we will launch DSA as a complete separate course. Is it okay? We won't include it in our full stack here in case if we aren't able to achieve it or complete it by end of February. Right? Because we are here to come with some other data science projects post full stack. So we want to anyhow don't extend that. Fine. I hope you are understanding. If so, please put it as yes or no in the chat section. Right. So this is how we are going to go ahead from here, and I hope you have also got a rough idea about it. इसकी एक rough idea आपको भी मिल चुकी है. Now the most important thing over here to remember is practice. Right from day one, guys, if you have missed on lectures, you aren't learning, you aren't studying, or if you're only attending the classes, so I would just like to tell you that's not enough, and we have been repeatedly telling you this thing. You have to put in efforts by writing and typing. You may have to make your hands dirty for that, because that's only the one way programming can be learned. And full stack, that's all about the development. Okay, full stack is all about the coding, it's all about development. So please try to understand. Hoping you're getting my point. Okay, in between, ये सब जब चल रहा होगा, in between, I'm announcing you to the first time today. In fact, आपको ही पहली बार बता रहे, we are coming up with a course of C++. Okay, in between, that is exclusively for those people who really want to either sharpen their programming skills, or who are very new to the concept of coding, or who especially wants to switch from non-IT to IT background, but they have little panic, or they have some fear towards coding. So that is extreme programming. Right, so the reason of launching that course is only to introduce you extreme programming, where we will be just coding logic based program. Okay, when the course is going to start, we don't know, because that will be somewhere in the end of November, C++, and that will be only Saturday Sundays batch, 2 hours batch. Hoping you are understanding. How many days to complete that e-commerce project will take time. Now in e-commerce project, that is a full-fledged website including payment gateway. Say if I am a shop, we sell products. These are all devices like mobile phones, laptop. You purchase a laptop from my website online, but then you'll have to make a payment. So even we will try to include, in fact we are doing it, including PayPal or Razorpay or some kind of any other net banking system. That means implementing all these features. So that will take at least 10 to 15 days. I will myself take to code it slowly in front of you. Understood? Aaj itna project banaya, kal utna. So that will be a live coding of the entire project. You got my point? A live coding. And once I complete, we will give you another 10 days of time for you to work out on it and submit it to us for the eligibility of the certificate. I hope you got my point. Yes, my friend. Fine. We are also eager to teach you C++ in fact. So whenever it comes, we are here to announce to you that. Alright, fine. एक बार आपको फिर बता देते हैं, students, practice is the key. Make sure that you are practicing enough back home. Understood? If you are stuck up somewhere, don't feel free to put it us or reach out to us. We'll see how the best we can help you. We might respond to you late, reply late, but we'll definitely reply to you at any time. Okay, fine. Alright, so this was the schedule of what things we have done so far and what are we going to complete up till the month of February. Is that okay? All of us? Fine. Okay, coming back to the point now. We are talking about validation today. Validation. Okay, थोड़ा थोड़ा validation करते कल तक बढ़ेंगे आगे, right? So if you could see this. It's a big project, yes, my friend. Can I take it to resume? You have to take it to your resume because it will teach you how to upload it to GitHub. You understood? You can even put it up on the GitHub and provide the link of a GitHub, of course, the way we do nowadays in our projects. You can mention about it on your, let me say, LinkedIn profiles as well. Okay, fine. But of course, we'll provide you certificate for that. See how you do it. Chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Fine. Consider this is a form. Right? I try to register. It says sorry, name cannot be blank. Right? So this is called as a validation. So validation basically has a check on the input field what is been entered. Is it okay? Fine. So tomorrow if I want to sign up for a Facebook account and I write user ID which is already available, Facebook immediately will prompt me that this ID is already taken. Alright, I enter some password and I re-enter it, say like this. Okay, let me type the name. I enter some name as Rahul. Okay, I type some age as 44. Password as ABC and ABC. Fine, so it says me, again it stops me. That sorry, password should be at least 6 character long. So there must be some code written behind who is checking what you are entering, correct? जो पीछे check कर रहा है आप क्या enter करते हो, there is some code written there. Is that okay? So this code which does check on input is called as a validation or a JavaScript validation. Alright, fine. Okay, the password must be at least 6 character long. At least. So let me put A, B, C, D, E, F. And here I put A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And if I say register, it says sorry, the two passwords should be same. Am I right? Fine, the two passwords should be same. So similarly, all these warnings in the form of alert boxes that I am getting on my page is called as nothing but a validation. Alright, fine. There are so many validations yet to be done here. We have to yet add an input box for entering an email ID so that you can validate an email ID. Maybe date of birth so that you can validate the date of birth and so on. Alright, fine. So let's see how can we do this one by one. First, let me show you one rough structure of the program. Okay, let me code this here. Okay, rough structure. Alright. Script and script. Okay, assume that I'm working inside head part and I'm working again inside head part. Okay, and I create some function here. Okay, today I took script inside the head section. You want to can code it as an entire external file also, जैसे हम हमेशा करते हैं. So choice is yours. Function, let me say validate. You create function by any name, correct? Alright, fine. And I create some variables, say where A, where B, you can write comma also. I just wrote like this, where C. Fine. Here in the body part, assume I'm having a form. Okay, this is just a structure of the page I'm showing you. This is a form. Okay, and the form closes. Okay, fine. Let me set the method of this form as post. Alright, let me set the method of this form as post. Remember, whenever you are accepting data in the form, you always set the method of the form as post. आप जब कभी भी किसी फॉर्म में डेटा एक्सेप्ट करते हो, always make sure that you set the method of that form as post. Fine. Out of many differences between get and post, one difference is post always hides the data on transmission, whereas this feature cannot be achieved via get. Let me show you how. For example, I go to my Chrome and I write here again Diwali 2023. That's it. Enter. Okay, now you see whatever I typed in this text box. Of course, this is an input box, right? This is a text box with a rounded corner. How Google has coded that. Is that okay? Fine. So you see whatever I have typed is actually taken in an open text, right? So I could see here that is query, Q for query here. Query is equal to Diwali 2023 in some way. Am I right? So this would be risky if it was user ID and password, correct? If I try to log in on some form like this and it is user ID and password, so my ID password will also be taken this way in the form of open text, correct? अच्छा, Google ने यहाँ पर open text में रखा, इसका मतलब the method behind would be get. So that is okay. This data is not so risky if it has been attacked, correct or not? This data is a search data. This data is not somebody's ID or password or date of birth or some other confidential information that if I don't use post, it will be harmful, correct? I hope you got. So this is how we distinguish between if you are searching something, we ideally let the method be get. But if you're, let me say you're trying to log in, you're trying to enter your some debit card, credit card pin or something like that. So this information is very confidential. And we don't want this information from client to server to be taken in this open way. ऐसा क्लाइंट से सर्वर तक खुला नहीं लेकर जाना भाई, उसको छुपा के लेकर जाना है. डेटा कॉन्फिडेंशियल चाहिए, हमको रखना है. So in that case, we better prefer the data to be in post method. Is that okay? All of us, please make sure that you put here in the chat section difference between get, post, understood or not. Fine. So always that should be the method. So if you're coding a form and you're going to accept some input kind, login and password kind of input, right, like a user registration form, so make sure that the method is always a post. Okay, we always write some action to be performed when the form is submitted. I write something abc.html. Means when somebody clicks on this on the submit button of this form, I should be taken to abc.html. That is what is the action for. That defines the target people. Right? That defines the target. Once the form has been filled up and the submit button is clicked, तो आगे क्या करे? Submit पे click करने पे क्या होना चाहिए? Actually, when you click on the submit button of the form, the data in the form is taken to some other page. It's either a JavaScript page or a PHP page. It could be an HTML page also. It could be a JSP page also. People who understand JSP, Java server pages. And so action defines that target URL. Action defines that target path where when someone clicks on the submit button, the data entered in the form must be taken to. Alright. For example, I'm trying to create a new account in Facebook. And when I say register or sign up, आपके sign up करते ही, first of all, validation will happen. All the input fields are correctly entered or not. Name is not missing. Date of birth is not missing. Password is not missing. So if everything is not missing and you click on sign up after filling the form, this information is taken to the Facebook server so that it can be registered or logged in the database. Correct or not? Is that okay? Yes, it's kind of safety and security. Alright, guys, see what Navin is writing there. Post is used for security. Actually, security over here is data hiding. Security की definition बहुत होती है. Encryption is a security. Firewall is also a kind of security. But here when I talk to you about security means it's a data hiding. I don't want to show the data open in URL. Am I right? Imagine I'm trying to log in into my Instagram, login ID and password, and when you click on the sign in button, the information is taken open, appended in the URL. तो अगर method get है, form का data is appended in the URL. Is it clear now? All my friends who are present here, come on, let us distinguish it this way. Put it up in the word this way. If the method of the form is get, the data in the form is appended in the URL and transmitted to the server. Good. Fine. But if the method of the form is post, no, the data in the form is not appended in the URL. Or let me say it's not taken open by the URL, it's kept hidden. Alright, but this is not the only difference. There are many differences, but this is the major difference between get and post. Clear? Fine. Action attribute understood. When somebody clicks submit to this form, that means on submission where the content should be taken to. Fine. So these are the major two attributes of the form that we use. Today I'm also going to use another one, that is on submit. Okay. आज देखेंगे क्या करना है on submit. Say on submit I want to call this function validate. When somebody submits this form, the function validate must be called. Alright, the function validate must be called. It's okay if you don't like on submit, you can better prefer to work with on click. I'll show you both the ways. Since we have never used on submit, this is my attempt to use that. Got it? Fine. And then we have simple form like name people. So input type is equals to text. Say ID is equals to name. Okay. Then similarly, okay, let me just write name first. Okay. Now this variable a which I have created, people, this form I'm setting some name to this form. Okay, let me give some name to this form. Form is equals to say form1 or f1. Okay, now in this JavaScript variable a, what do I do is document dot. What do you mean by document? This file itself, this web page containing the code. Okay, so that means from the current document dot f1 from the form, okay, the element whose ID is name dot value. Right, so if name is an input box, whatever value you have entered in the name box, people, that will be stored in A. I hope you got my point. Is it okay? Fine. Now I just check if, hi friends, how about now if somebody could acknowledge to us in the chat section. Okay, can we go ahead? Now, okay, fine. So tell me where you were lost. Buffering. It's not buffering now. From my end, it is not buffering. Take it. Chaliye. Right? So this is how we are doing here, people. I think somebody was asking me the meaning of this name attribute. Okay, so this is one way. I took the value. Other way by document dot get element by ID, वो तो आप हमेशा कर ही सकते हो, correct? Is that okay? Yes, you can say document dot get element by ID of that input box whose value you want to extract from. So moral of the story, this way or that way, we extracted the name from the name text box or input box and stored in our local variable A. Similarly, assume there are two more fields down. नीचे और दो field है. One is called as password1, another is called as password2. So how will you take the text out? Document dot f1 from the document form whose name is form1. Okay, the text box whose name is password1 dot value. Similarly in C, from document dot f1 password2 dot value. Yes, in if condition. I hope you got my point. Is that okay? Hoping you are understanding. Correct. Alright, so if this is, oh yeah, Chirag, correct. We are just understanding the concept of what is a validation, what is basic validation. In fact, when you go ahead to work with Django, Bootstrap comes with so many inbuilt validation control. I hope you got my point. Is that clear? But if you say हम basic validation करेंगे ही नहीं, no, so then how that fundamental foundation could be laid down? Correct or not? Is that okay? Fine. If you say भाई हमको validation ही नहीं मालूम because everything you're using ready-made as a feature. Okay, so that won't be the correct, I should say, the idea. No, once hands-on validation as a manual validation is required. In fact, using regular expressions, if you are aware, or if someone here is aware, using regular expression, we can validate email ID so easily. Alright, but we would still encourage you to understand the principle, fundamental and foundation of validation. जबकि in the final project में हम ऐसा validation कभी करेंगे ही. I hope you got my point. Is that okay? So get this idea of what is validation. Alright, fine. So see this way, I took the password1.value, password2.value. And now tell me how it could be coded for. How would you check the password is not less than length of 6 or 7? So I just write here if b dot length. Am I right? That is a string function, people. The b dot length. If it is less than 6, okay, then whatever alert that you want to display, whatever as an alert message that you want to display. Sorry, the password cannot be less than 6 in length. Less than 6, or you're checking for less than 8 or 10 or 20, whatsoever it is. So this is the first level validation, the very basic validation. And then suppose now you work out, like, what if I want to put a compulsion that password should contain hash? That means at least there should be at least one special character. Am I right? Password should contain at least one uppercase character. Password should contain at least one lowercase character, because that ensures the, let me say, the strictness of the password. Am I right? How impossible it would be for someone to crack the password. Correct or not? Is that okay? Fine. So this was the concept. Only we are checking the length first. And suppose if it is more than high, you code the else part here, return true or return false. Right? What could be the code would you expect running behind? How to check the two passwords matches or not? So if B is equal to C, am I right? Because both B and C is having password 1, password 2, right? Both B and C are having password 1 and password 2. How to strong the, oh Navin, that code I want you to write first before I could write it. Alright, how to make sure that your password contains, can you do this work till tomorrow by the time we execute it? Alright, we have all this code present here. How to make sure the password contains numbers, how to make sure the password contains characters. But you do take a little effort. Try to see how if you can code it before I can show you this code tomorrow. I hope you got my point. Try to use it without regular expression. Chirag and Navin, both, and others also. Come on, try to use it without regular expression. Is that okay? It's not necessary for everyone to use regular expression. Try to use it without. Some of you here may not be aware of regex also. नहीं तो regular expression के बगैर करिए. Take as a second assignment for the day today. Come on, second assignment. First one I told you, prepare your let me say this one, calculator. That's an easy project. Number 2, try to put this constraint on the field of password. I hope you got my point. Is that okay? All of us fine? Of course, I will be coding in front of you. I will be showing you how to do that also. But I would like first at least you put your hands. एक बार आप पहले करिए. Alright, fine. चलिए. उसके बाद में B is equal to C, because both B and C are having the values of two different password. So if both is equal, simply return true. So when you say return true, action will work. Submission will be successful. Got it? But if you say return false, that means submission was unsuccessful. You will be forced to stay on the same page, that is a form page, and you will be not redirected to the action URL in the action attribute. Got it? Fine. So that is how return true and false is working here. People, I would like to recommend, let you know one more time, what we are understanding is the concept of validation. Before using all the ready-made validation facilities coming up ahead, एक बार आपका और हमारा हाथ hands on validation required चाहिए. Alright, because everyone here is not coming from the background of coding, technologies and all. Right, so please make sure this much coding you have done from your end. Alright, fine. So the same thing I have kept it coded here. If you could see, now slowly try to understand. Come on, slowly try to understand what we have done. Okay, so this is my body tag. Have a look, body. Okay, fine. I have a form here. The name of my form is my form. I'm asking for name. Instead of writing name like this, you can write name in a label also. Okay, type is text and the name is name. Okay, my mistake. I think I wrote here ID by mistake. This should be name, people. Okay, इसको मैंने by mistake ID लिखा है. This should be name. Alright. Fine. So this time we are accessing element by its name rather by its ID. For ID, you have to make use of get element by ID function. आपके पास दोनों भी तरीके हैं. We know both the method. Yes, you want to write like this document dot get element by ID name dot value or dot text, or you simply write document dot form dot control name dot value. This way or that way, you see which one works for you. But दोनों भी method से used to रहिए. Right? Then comes age, and I have given name of the age as also age. I have one more text box here for the password, and the name of this text box is password. Re-enter, and the name of the text box is password 2. Yeah, you call it password 1, password 2, whatsoever. Is that okay? Fine. So there are total 4 text box, one for name, one for age, one for password 1, and one for password 2. Okay. So now if you could come into my script tag, inside my script tag, people. So all these text box value I am storing in the local variable first. Name dot value in name, password dot value in password. First, okay, this is unnecessary. Okay, commented. I don't require that. Okay, so first password and the second password. Right, here we're checking if the name is null or blank. Already you want to check for only one criteria, if the name is null or blank. So we're giving simply this alert message. Also, if the password length is less than 6, we are giving this alert message and also returning false. You write another else if in this ladder, एक और else if लिखिए, to check if the first password is equal to second password, so return true. And if they are not equal, just say password is same, and so on. Okay, and then taking age also. This is a ready-made function we are using, is age, NaN, means not a number. Okay, because if you could see the input type of this age box, you have written here text. You could have written number. इधर number लिखने से वो automatic validation आ जाएगा, that it will automatically not accept the text or a character in that text box. Got it? But there is still some validation we need to put upon the age. Number can be 1000 also, but the age cannot be 1000 years old. Correct or not? तो ऐसा तो number फिर 5000 भी है, but 5000 cannot be age of somebody. So even though it is number, you would still like to go ahead by adding some more validation. So for example, age should be in between. Say you want to restrict people and signing up below 18 and all. So age must be between say 18 to 60 or 18 to 80 or 18 to 100. Is that okay? So I put this part to be done from your end first before I could show you the perfect validation. Is it okay? Fine. Right. So that's what we are doing here. Right? Taking age in a local variable. Checking, is it not a number? If it is not a number, it's a letter or a character, then please give a message, age should be a number. Return false from here. Else return true. Hoping you are understand. And this function we are calling, right? That is on submission of this form. Okay, on submission of this form. Alright, I told written validate. You want to just write a validate form. That's okay. Right, somebody who wants to try here can also do that. Okay, if you want to do this way, say input type is equals to submit. So if somebody clicks on the submit button, on click validate form. Okay, so this way or that way, choice is yours. I hope you got my point. People, this was just 20 to 25% of the validation. ये खाली validation का basic था. The complete validation we are coming up tomorrow, once again 6 to 7. So make sure you're present. We will be validating email. We will also try to validate the password to make it a strong password, ensuring that your password contains special characters. I hope you got my point. Your password contains at least something in uppercase, one character in a lower case, and so on and so forth. I hope you got my point. Fine. As I told you, I have a small medical emergency at my home today, so I shall be winding off the class today. Okay, which length will you? Password dot length. Shiraz, very simple. Password dot length. You're talking here. So of course, first password, na? Check who is a variable password. अच्छा मैंने उसको कमेंट कर दिया, ठीक है, तो इसको फर्स्ट ले लो, बराबर बोला आपने. नाउ इज इट क्लियर? फर्स्ट पासवर्ड डॉट लेंथ. Alright, I think because I commented that was by mistake 2 times written, since I commented that. Okay, so not password, but it should be first password dot length. Okay, it is going to check the controls in CS. Hoping you are understanding. Fine, we'll send you this code also. a3.html. 1 minute. 1 minute. One moment, please. Okay, my terminal is opening. Alright, fine. Name, I leave it blank. I write some age. I write some password. Okay, and I say register, so it says me name can't be blank. Is that okay? Alright. See, you saw one thing. It is not allowing me to go to the action wala page. ये action wala page है. Hello friends. See. Before I could wind off today, this is my action page. a1.html, and if you could see a1, तो a1 में हमने इतना ही लिखा है वेलकम. गॉट इट? ठीक है, आपको वो a1 पर तब जाने देगा if the function validate returns true. Got it? Only if it returns true. ठीक है, so I still try. Okay, name can't be blank. So I write some name here. Let me say Shabnam. Okay, age I leave it as it is. You try to enter some character engine. Okay, password E. Now Shreyas ka question, which password ka length? Of course, I'm not going to check the confirm password ka length. Of course, the main password length. If I say register, sorry, they should be at least 6 character long. Correct? So E, and I try to register. So even though it is 6 character long, but they are not the same characters. Okay, so this time I say E and E, and I say register. Okay, so that means only when the function has returned to me true, you could see my URL and it has taken me to a1.html. All of us here, right? From here, we will be continuing with validation part again tomorrow and complete it thoroughly by giving you the 100% idea of what all different things can be validated. Jabke when I use Django and all, we will be having a lot of inbuilt validation facilities available. Yes, my friend, we can do validation in the backend as well. हमको इनफैक्ट करना ही पड़ेगा. Alright, when the time comes right to speak about that, we'll not only speak but also code. Okay, fine. Take it. So before I could see you tomorrow, please make sure that you keep all this part coded back home. Try to validate an email ID as well. Is it okay? Fine. Take care. Okay, here we go. All of us. Yes. Take care. Fine class, fine. See you tomorrow for validation and from Monday onwards for jQuery. Okay, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, thereby we will be completing JavaScript. I'll give you some practice questions that will include the most of the concepts of JavaScript before we could go ahead to SQL. Okay, fine. Okay, ma'am, take care, get well soon. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for understanding as well. Goodbye. Happy weekend. To nahi, I think tomorrow I will say. I thought today is Friday. Bye.